You're listening to Badge and Barz. One served behind the badge, the other served behind bars. Two different paths, two different sides of the justice system, but one common goal. No scripts, no politics, no filters, just truth from both sides. This is Badge and Bars. Let's get into it.
105 North Avenue, 52.
Badge and Bars. How you doing, Chris?
What's happening, Lando? How you doing?
Oh, beautiful. Just getting the sun these days. Finished
It's
up birthday week, Dad's week, Father's Day. Should say Dad's birthday, Father's Day, all that. So ready to get back to work, start this podcast off, and have a good time.
Let's go.
Flow. Oh, sick. Okay. So I think we should kind of let everybody know how we first
Started.
met, how this whole thing started, kind of A to Z. But I'll just throw it out there. Met by dirt biking, and our love for dirt biking, love for adrenaline, ADD, out of control. But yeah, you want to kind of share your side on how we actually met that day?
Yeah. We were going to Riverdale and Toutle, Washington, and the boys that we go ride with are like, yeah, buddy Lando's up there. You'll just meet him up there. Make sure that we're camping in this spot. So I roll in. And of course, Landon is not in that spot. So I'm going around. I'm like, hey, Landon, I finally find you. And I was like, hey, man, you got to move. You got to move your camp spot. We're going to be over there. Truth be told, had I known you'd been a cop when I first met you, I probably would have approached you a little different. But I'm just like, yo, dude, you got to pack up. We got to move over here. You're in the wrong spot, dude. You got to pack up.
As I'm fully set, ready.
Literally everything, all the way down to tent down and everything. You got your trailer, tent, you're all set up.
Easy up, everything. Yeah, I wasn't impressed.
It was kind of funny. You didn't tell me no.
No, I didn't. And then we had a good time.
Yeah, it was a great time, dude. Progressed tracks. I think to this day, my favorite was probably Grays Harbor or, what's that one called?
I think it's Grays Harbor for the double that we hit. Like,
yeah, that was epic.
Learning the track. It took 3 or 4 different times there, but it's like when you get the rhythm with someone that's done the jump and it's been making your cojones up in your stomach every time you roll it and then go to the next one and roll. You're like, I can do it. I know I can do it. And then when you piece each section of the track together and then all of a sudden you're jumping the track, now you're thinking inside, outside, how can I pass my buddy? How can I catch my buddy? And then it starts getting fun. And I think that's when that track got super fun for us.
Yeah. Dude, dirt bikes, they're fun. They're dangerous, but dude, they're so fun. It's just on the edge at all times. And you got people who are old, 50s, ripping dirt bikes. Like, just go out there and ride at like 40%. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that, dude. I get on a dirt bike and I just want to rip it. Yeah. Which took me off a track a couple times in a stretcher neck brace. Very fortunate I didn't break anything. I probably bruised a few brain cells, but
I think that's part of the sport is
definitely
concussions, broken bones, and at the same time saying that, thinking that it's like overcoming diversity and getting back into it and getting over your fears and trying new things. Obviously we'll talk business, but that just piqued my interest right there. It's like, it's crazy.
But like getting started after dirt bikes, I was commercial fishing still. You were still policing. I first go at making money outside of work, the routine of a job, detailing. I detailed cars out of my driveway one summer. It was cool. Made some money. Wasn't going to quit my job doing that. So we progressed. Dad passed away. My dad's hobby after he retired was photography. He loved photography. And I always used to tell my dad when we were at tracks, there's dad people here, there's taking pictures, you can make money. After my dad passed away, I acquired all his photography equipment and I started taking photos at tracks. And not crazy money, but I began to make money. I enjoyed it. It was fun, especially like the pro classes, throwing big whips, catching action shots like midair. That was super fun, all the way down to the definition of the dirt coming off the tires, just stuff like that. It was fun. Action to me was fun. And then I got into real estate photography. I got my foot in the door and doing real estate. And that is where I started making decent money. And I mean, transparency. Real estate photography was definitely not my passion. I did it for the paycheck. It was fun. During that time, I learned a lot about business and people and
I
handling
think it was
business.
safe on your body, and you could compound it. Like, I remember hearing you being like, "Yeah, I got 4 homes today." I'm like, "What? How can you shoot 4 homes?" You know, it's like when your drive is money and
Yep,
you are just adrenaline junkie in general, it's like,
yep.
pack those together, let's get as much as we can, and I don't have to go out on a boat. I don't have to leave my family. I get to go home and edit all these, sit into my house, and if they need me, I'm here.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, dude. Like fishing. When I started fishing, it was fun. I was actually talking. I cleaned this guy's house a couple days ago, and I was talking to him about fishing. He thought this was funny. It's like I fishing to me back in the day was called CHAB. You know, you go to work, you sober up, and then you come home and you snort your paycheck. I
Yeah.
mean, it was great. And then I stopped doing all that, and then it was like I go to work and I kind of miss home. Like I did miss home. I'm sure
Yeah.
everybody misses home. Fishing is a lifestyle. It's not a job. Everybody's involved in it. You're a dad, a father, a son. You leave, it is it was cool, and it was an adrenaline rush when I started. If yeah, I could go out on a boat right now and go crabbing, and it would just be like whatever. I mean, it's just a job to me.
Yeah.
But it's a rush, dude. Crabbing is a rush. Working 70 hours straight is a rush. Uh, but there's a
Well,
lot.
and
Go
then in
ahead.
summers, you got to tie the lines like you see on the dock side when I was down there.
Yep.
And you're like, I am not doing that. And you're like laughing as we're passing. I'm like, that is crazy. Those guys
Yeah,
aren't getting a paycheck right now, doing nothing or doing a
that is
ton of work, but not getting
that is
paid.
part of the job. If that boat's at the
Yeah.
dock and you're working, you're not getting paid for it, which I think it should not be like that. I think everything that goes into the industry, you should get paid for it. You get something for it. Gear work, I feel like you should get paid for it. You should be
Yeah.
paid for your efforts putting into a boat. That is just my personal view on that.
Yeah.
And there are
I'm
com-
sure
there
we
are
could go deeper into that, but we'll let it
yeah, but
be.
we don't need.
Yeah.
That's a whole another podcast.
Oh, I know. That's why
But
I'm
fishing,
saying it.
dude, I mean, I saw things that nobody will ever see, which is cool. But
Yeah.
I was over it. And then my dad passed away, got into photography. I did that for probably 2.5, 3 years, real estate. And then that's when you went, through your transition, left policing, transition. You went through
Still a male, dude. Staying male.
we're not talking, yeah, policing.
Yes.
You went
Through my
through that.
situation.
Yeah, your situation,
Yeah.
false accusations.
Yes. Horny.
And you didn't have a job, dude, and you were stuck. And I'm like, yo, dude, come over. Let me show you how to do this. You had a camera from your mom. And again, this is cool
Yeah.
because our stories are similar. Like, and we'll go even farther back. My dad passed away. We had his celebration of life at a building on the water in Edmonds. Shortly after that, when your mom passed away, you told me where you were having hers. And I'm like, bro, that's the same place.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And destiny is a thing. Like I feel like we were meant to meet. We were meant to do this stuff together because it all aligns, dude. It aligns pretty good. So you come
Yeah.
over.
There's too
I'm
many
trying to,
dots.
yeah, not to be meant to be.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, screw it. Come over. Let's try and get you into real estate. You come over with your mom's camera that you had acquired, and you were trying to show me this. I'm like, man, this is not going to work. So I had a spare
Yeah.
camera. It was I was like, dude, take it. You still have it. I was like, just take it, run with it. You left shortly, you left after that weekend. There's a lot to take in when you're trying to teach somebody.
Oh, insane.
Real estate photography is not the easiest thing to jump into for sure.
Well, and I'll say, yes, I love being a sponge, but working with somebody like your ass that sprints around a house, you're literally sweating, taking photos, and you're like, so what'd you learn? Did you get that? I'm like, I think I heard some stuff so yeah, it was awesome because I was like, dude, this guy's insane. Like, we're just taking pictures and it's this crazy. This is cool. So that
Yeah.
got me motivated. That got me extra like, okay, I get it. And yes, you said real estate. I was a real estate agent. I realized I didn't really like it as a side gig when I was a cop. And then I had a bunch of real estate agent contacts because being in
Yep.
that field. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe this can work. We'll see how it is. And you gave me the sickest camera. I still have it. And yeah, still didn't learn as much as you. You got your editing down. I didn't get my editing, but I think everything we've been through in general teaches us the next step to the next
Absolutely.
business or the next thing. And it's like, we'll talk about it here soon, but I think that is a huge separator is how quickly you can edit, how fast you see it and get it out there with content and it's actually good. Unlike other businesses that just throw a video out there with their name on it and it's like, yeah, you're making videos, you're doing stuff, it makes sense, but yours just catch the eye of many more people because you've been paid to catch the eye on a home that doesn't have a face, doesn't have anything, and you got to make it look special for somebody to come and walk it and then pay hundreds of thousands of dollars. So
Yeah. And real estate photography definitely was not my passion. Like I did it for money. Through those years of doing photography, I've shot and edited a couple TV commercials. I got to put my family on TV, which was cool. I got in line with Oregon State University in the Sea Grant program, and they sent me out on fishing boats to document the fishing industry, which was so cool because I'd go on these boats and full circle. And I'm just like, I'm going without these people. And what happened was I was unloading one day and this lady was down there with a photographer. And she's like, do you mind if we come? We're going to take some pictures of how it goes. And in my mind, I had already started photography at this point. And in my mind, I was like, yep, this is a sign. And I looked at her, I said, hey, have you ever had anybody go out on these boats and document the industry? And her eyes just lit up. She's like, no, we don't know anybody. And I was like, me, I do this, this, and this. And I think like a week later, within a week, we had a Zoom meeting and they're like, this is amazing. Let's do it. And I went out on Dungeness crab, midwater, dragfish, shrimp, and they sent me down to California. And it was super cool to go out with a camera because as a fisherman, I felt I knew what looked cool. Like I could be in these spots that just Joe Schmo wouldn't know,
Oh yeah.
So that was cool. And then
even with the
drones from the water
chasing the boats
were so sick, dude.
Some of the stuff that you were shooting it still blows my mind because I'm like, yes, it's Chris, but you see these productions that you make and it's like, how does Chris know how to do that? Like that is epic. That is, and yeah, it just inspired me to keep trying.
Funny story. You don't fail, you learn. So the first time I took a drone off of a boat, drones are GPS acquired. I set it on the back deck and I go to take it off and boom, flew straight into the bulwarks of the boat because it was centered on that location. So I'm like, huh. So you actually
the boat was moving.
Correct. So you actually have to start the props and throw it up in the air. And then when you want to retrieve it, you have to go on the bow and time it coming back into the boat and catch it out of the air. So it's
not
rush.
that hard, dude.
Yeah.
You're an athlete. It's easy.
Yeah, but there was a couple rough seas times where I didn't think it was coming back. I just made sure to get it.
Yeah, the drone's just here, but the boat's doing this. Yeah. And it's like, how am I going to time it without hitting the bulkhead or whatever?
Yeah, the bow.
The bow or the stern or the helm. The helm would suck. That would be a bad one.
Yeah. And then so transitioning, so getting out of fishing, it's like I worked on that boat. I was doing real estate and I was going for full custody of my older two kids, Tucker and Jade, at that point. Yeah. I was making good money at home doing real estate photography. And it is very nerve-wracking leaving a job to go do something on your own. It's like, dude, is this going to work? And in the back of your mind, it's like, if it doesn't work, what's the tons of memes? If it doesn't work, the worst case scenario is everybody else is normal. You're just going to go get a job again. So got a couple guys in my corners. One guy, Jess, he's like, dude, you literally are insane, dude. If it's your only option, you're going to make it work. That wasn't enough to make me do it. I mean, it's in my mind, but cool. That sounds cool, but it's like still nerve wracking. And then I took a week off to go to court for full custody of my kids. I gained full custody. The guy who I work with, he was always telling me, he's like, you will know when the time is right. And when that happened, I was just like, screw it. We'll just do it. Did it. Yeah. I was all in. Legitimately, I have closets full of photography gear. Like when I do something, I do something. If you haven't,
Yeah, even the lights.
uh,
I've seen it all.
yeah. So we did that for a couple years, 2.5, 3 years, and then through that time of getting you a camera and doing that, you got into exterior cleaning. This is where the fun part comes, dude.
Yeah,
y- I chased a lot of things, detailing, and it just never felt right. And then that 1 year you were exterior cleaning already, you just had your starter set up or wherever you were in that. And I got my tax return and you were trying to talk me into getting a trailer and a setup. And I'm just like, and then we found one and you just start blowing my head up. You're like, dude, this thing is so sick. It's got everything.
it can start you out perfect
Yeah. So I bought it. I'm just like, screw it. I bought it. It sat in my driveway for months. And
until you came up and did a job with me.
correct, but even then it didn't really fire up. Then I was kind of I was intrigued. I was like, this is cool. And I started diving into education and learning and
Yeah.
and then we flew to Arizona.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, we went to the 10X Cardone Ventures Elite, and I sat in a room full of millionaires and billionaires, which doesn't matter. That's just saying. And they started with nothing, and some of them were people just like me, maybe not as
Yeah.
dark, but a dark past. Doesn't
Yeah.
like following the rules, didn't like doing what everybody else is doing, wanted to do their own thing. And I'm just like, dude. And I was very intrigued and very enlightened by a lot of these people, and I got a lot of insight. And I remember landing in Portland, and I ran to my truck, and I don't think I've stopped running since that day. It's been wide open and the most fun I've ever had. We've built both of these companies, dude, from nothing, and it's been so fun, dude. Um, I truly love what I do, and more than the aspect of just a job, just like talking to people. Couple weeks ago, I'm sitting in a driveway with a mother talking about her kid with drug addiction. I'm
Yeah.
crying. I'm literally in tears. Like I'm getting emotional. I'm talking about my mother, talking about my addiction. She's talking about her kid, how we both overcame it. And then that's where I know that what I'm doing is the right thing because I get to share my story. It's going to be real. I'm putting it out there. It's vulnerable. But who
Yeah.
cares?
And that's why 100% why we started this podcast. We're real. We're putting it
Yeah.
out there. We're authentic. And through businesses, through life, we both learned, oh, people are pretty cutthroat or don't really have your back. And again, there's numerous things that I think we've seen along the way since we met. That's like, okay, this guy has the same drive, the same path now. We had two different paths, but
Yeah.
now it's like business is our addiction and growth and adventure and where there's no cap to what
No.
we think now. After Cardone Ventures, it's like, wait. Why did I think 200,000 was good enough? It's like, why not 500 or why
I
not a
mean,
million? It's like,
if we want
okay,
to, if we want to talk numbers in a very vague thing, as a commercial fisherman, you're on the water. You get checks that are large. I mean, I've gotten a $30,000 check before, and you're just like, dude. What you don't think is everything you did to go through to get that.
yeah.
And then I started this business, and I had a great month. That's all I'm going to say. And then my mind's like, what is actually possible?
Everything is possible.
Correct.
Kevin Garnett.
Solo loss possible. I think building the systems is a thing that is going to come into play here soon. But I mean, solo, I had 130, 140 work hour weeks last month to the point where I was sick. Like I went to the hospital.
Yeah.
Great month. It was great.
Financial. Great.
Yeah, it was great.
Health might
Health not so great.
get
Yeah,
uppercutted.
so it's like I'm learning to balance. Like next month, it's okay to say no. Like I'm gonna go camping a few times with the family, wife and kids. We're gonna hook up my trailer. We're gonna go camping, and it's
Motocross.
okay to that's no kids.
Yeah. But that's still
But we
time from work, not making money.
yeah, we got some kid camping trips though. But
Yeah.
it's okay to say no. It's okay to plan around your life, which I'm learning. It is an addictive thing, the business aspect, especially when you enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's figuring everything out along the way for sure.
Yeah, and remembering what you're learning along the way
Yeah.
so you can use it for the best in
Yeah.
all options. Like you still do real estate photography, you
I
still
do.
do cleaning.
Yeah,
I don't
not
think you do
for
any detailing cars, but
no,
you
I clean
would.
my own car.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually pretty clean unless I'm working, and then I'm busy because if I'm driving around town with my truck's dirty, it's because I've been busy.
Yeah. Well, let's
Um,
I want to ask and get into how we came up with our names. I think you touched
yes.
a little bit about it on this one at the beginning, but I'll start with mine and
Yeah.
how my kind of process went. But I, being in the Virgin Islands, I started a boat charter business after being there for 3 years or so. And with that boat charter business, I met my business partners, Jeremy and Amanda, and we were able to have such a nice boat and reach out to Richard Branson and his island. And basically, we were able to use our boat to go there. And while I'm learning about Richard Branson, I'm reading all his books, seeing that he started every business with Virgin. And I was like, okay, if I start a business, I'm going to come up with something awesome and then stick with that word. And so I stuck with Pearl. And that's how I've kind of led it into most of my businesses, except for Snap 33. We'll talk about how that one started. But from my Airbnb business to boat charters and also exterior cleaning, all of them have pearl in it. A lot of people ask me, what's the significance? Well, I started with black pearl excursions because our boat was a Midnight Express, 3 motors on the back, 450s. It was the coolest Batmobile on the island. But we started with that. And then that has just trickled into all my other businesses. But going to Snap 33 Photography, this is where, again, it is another thing that touches me about our lives and how we've partnered up and all this stuff. But naming your business after your dad inspired me to name my business after my mom because we both got the cameras from our parents and all that. But my mom's salon was 33rd Sunset Snip in Linwood, Washington. She had it with her partner from high school up until she was about 50 and had to retire because of Alzheimer's dementia. But since I had her cameras, I wanted to give back to my mom's name. And every time I take photos, I think of my mom. So I named it Snap 33 Photography. And that's how I kind of came up with both names. So hit us with AWP.
Yeah. So I'd say probably 4 decades, maybe even more. My dad was a business owner of Associated Wood Products, AWP. He was probably one of the best cabinet makers, custom kitchen makers that Seattle had to offer at his time. He lived in Ballard, which is cool because I told you that. I'll get into that. Um, but he always wanted me to take it over. And, of course, back then I was not in the right place. And I'm just like, Dad, this is you all the way down to every tool goes. So after my dad passed away and we got into photography, I'm talking to Jordan, my wife, and I'm like, what should I want it to be AWP, And she came up with Action Works Photography. And I'm just like, yep, I love it. Let's do it. So that's where Action Works Photography came from. Jordan came up with that. And when I started the cleaning business, I was just like, AWP. Just keep it going. AWP Exterior Cleaning. So AWP came from my father, his business. The logo is my dad's business logo. It was the same logo he had on the side of his vans, his trucks, AWP.
And
It's
didn't
just
even
meant
change
to.
it.
It's just meant to be. And what's even crazier is I have these episodes that just make me feel like you're doing something right. Because when we did that job in Ballard, it was literally kitty corner from my
Yeah.
dad's shop. It's like AWP was back in Ballard. Um,
Pretty
I
special
don't know.
day. I remember that.
Yeah,
You got
it was
there
cool.
quite early.
I did get there earlier. We had my emotional moments. I went to my dad's
Yeah.
shop. It's just cool how stuff works, and it just makes it feel right. Yeah, you go through a lot. Like I'm glad I'm doing this now in life because I had this happen years ago. I wouldn't have been appreciative. I don't know if that's the right word of it.
Yeah.
You got to go through the turmoil to appreciate the stuff that happens, and the little thing happens for a reason. Yeah. I was just talking to somebody today, and my father-in-law. I was like, God, if my dad was still around today to see this, it would blow his mind. I remember when I'm talking about the photography, just the money you make, and he's just like, "That's crazy." Because 30 years ago, my dad used to make 150 grand a year, which 30 years ago was great
Great.
money. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad loved what he did. Like he always said, the day you find something you truly love doing, you'll never work a day again. And towards the tail end, when he didn't have a lot of business and he's paying his rent with his social security, he would tell me, I come down here and I sharpen pencils in my shop and I'm happy. I'm in my happy place.
That's
Um,
incredible.
yeah,
Simplicity.
he just loved his shop. And I remember when he retired, he was the business, which is why I'm trying to build something a little different. You learn from your family, your parents is who you learn from. So
Yeah.
I want to build something that's worth something, which is why I built equity and contracts and all this stuff in this company. So my company is worth something. When my dad retired, it was worth nothing. And I watched him sell every piece of equipment in that shop piece by piece, and it crushed him inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, life is weird.
Vicariously learn through other people. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Even though it
And
has to be your dad.
yeah, wish he was around. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Yeah.
It'd blow his mind what I've created, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. So back into cleaning. We'll keep this going. Chronological. So I started cleaning because I had a pressure washer at my house. I'm kind of what you would expect, what you hear everybody. Well, I got it at home, so might as well go make money. I
Yeah.
was a cop at the time. At 7 years in being a cop, thought I would never do anything different. Before this, I changed careers just about every 3 years. And yeah, even the department that hired me over here was like, "Are you going to stay for 2 or 3 years and then you're done?" And I was like, "Nope, this is it. This is what I'm doing." So I was all in, dove in, all of that. Didn't share it on social media. Just it was a calling at the time. Yeah, I'll get into that later. But when shit hit the fan, I got falsely charged with
Accused is a
two
better word. Falsely accused.
falsely accused
There you go.
with 2 felony charges. It became pretty serious. At the time, there was no evidence that I did it. I did not do it. I tried to find cameras on my Tesla to show that I didn't do it. And the person at the other vehicle said they had cameras, but it didn't capture. And nobody thought of going and getting those cameras, which still will boggle my mind to the day I die. But all of this happens. I end up resigning from my position, which I never thought I would even do. And I apply at I think it was 5 decently good jobs around town in this 70,000 population town. And a couple of them reached out to a couple of my other buddies and like, yeah, we really like Landon. We're probably going to be hiring him by next week. Next week rolls around. They're like, nope, we're not going with you. Another business, nope, we're not going with you. Well, my uh, story hit the news, and yeah, no one was hiring me. No one wanted to be around me. Other coworkers didn't want me. Uh, I reached out
I
to them for support.
I wanted to be around you.
But you didn't know me yet.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah, it was very, very quiet, very dark, very sad. It's wild as a cop. You have to have evidence to charge somebody, and yet they have no evidence that I did anything, and they charge me. And then my own department says, yeah, on top of your criminal, we can do civil charges on you, and we think you're lying. So we're going to investigate you personally, civilly. And I was like, wow, this sucks. So I got what I have said harmonized in my place of living. I hid out. I couldn't go and do anything. I even, back in the day, 20 something years ago, I was flying planes. So I even started ground school back up again just to keep my mind on something. I got really good at golfing, all of that stuff. And when all of those places finally said, like, no, we're not going with you, I was down to $8,000. It still makes me, just saying that, I'm like, yeah, down to $8,000, have a mortgage, and I'm freaking out. And I go, I'll do anything. I got a pressure washer in my garage. I'm going to start pressure washing. I got a Tesla. I got a dirt bike trailer, and One of my best homies, Kevin Kaufman, welds up my dirt bike trailer. So now we can put a pressure washer on it. So I started with a 4 gallon a minute pressure washing hose of 50 feet, a water hose from the house to the pressure washer, and a wand. My
Dang.
first job was $150 driveway. I still laugh because of what we have both built. And
Yeah.
now I won't leave my house for under $350. So it's just wild to think where I started, what I was doing. No one believed in me. I literally, I had a, I'm going to say it. I had a criminal that literally lent me over $6,000 camera and says, "Hey, go make money." I'm like, how the hell is this guy so generous when I have cops and friends around town that aren't even talking to me? They won't even associate with me. So it was a very dark moment. I started doing it on the side. I reached out to my brother. He owns a construction company, and he says, "Yeah, I could hire you. Does $45 an hour sound good?" And I'm kind of like just lost, right? Like I'm supposed to be a cop. Like I'm literally a cop. What's going on? Why am I now just going and doing construction and doing side gigs for pennies on the dollar? And yeah, I told my brother, "Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate it. But I still want to do my pressure washing stuff on the side." And I will tell everybody in the future who I ever talk to and support along the way is once you change the mindset, you will change the outcome. And I'm talking once my brother told me you need to work overtime if there's an overtime thing for the weekend and we got to get a job done. You can't do a side gig. I said, well, then it's not a side gig. Overnight, I flipped it, and overnight, my business started. And it
Yeah.
was insane. Even you saying, like, yeah, it was crazy when I started seeing you making money and taking on jobs and building your trailer and adding to your trailer, then buying a Transit Connect minivan, building that out, and not having to drive a Tesla over the pass and all that kind of stuff. It's like, wow, everything changed once you go all in, but you have to go all in. And that's when I will say that's how it all started, was all of that turmoil, dark, depressed, down to $8,000. Don't know what to do with my life. No one's hiring me. No one wants to be around me. The
You gotta
news made
have a
me to look.
why.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Your why has to be much, much stronger.
So you don't like the word entrepreneur.
No, hate it.
What is a good replacement?
Business owner.
Yeah. So
It's not catchy.
a little
It's
emphasis
straightforward.
of
What are you doing? I run a
no,
business.
what does it take to be a business owner? And I want to emphasize because I don't think I'm normal. Do you think
No.
I'm normal?
No.
It never turns off. Today it turned off. I took a nap today. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. That's insane.
I took a nap today. Tomorrow it's game on. It is all in. Yeah, dude, it is all in. The videos, the marketing, talking to people, sales, sharing my stories. So we've grown and it's something bigger than just the job. Like I remember when I took you to a house doing photography, just listening to you talk to people. I'm like, God, this dude's a cop. just the way you can talk to people, you can just make conversation. Like people like authenticity, dude. Like there's people that just, and just showing up to jobs, people are like, yeah, well, so-and-so said they're going to give me a quote and they were going to get back to me and they never called me and they don't answer their phone. And I'm thinking, how are people in business? I tell everybody, answer your phone, do what you say you're going to do. Those two things go hand in hand. Nobody wants
Set
to
you
answer the
apart.
phone. What?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I've said to you is the difference between like a side gig and a real business or the other people in your town. I keep telling you, you don't have competition. You have other businesses in town.
Yeah.
But the difference is action. The difference
Yep.
is you do more than the other guy does in one day, and you're going to build way quicker than the other guy does in 1 year. So yeah, it's a grind. That's I guess what we're getting into is the aspect of you need to do everything. You need to be all in on everything, from marketing every day, like our new creative hats. you
Gotten a
know.
lot of compliments on these hats, by the way.
Oh yeah, they're killing it.
They're pretty cool.
But it's like even different style videos or like yours where you do really creative, fun, local things in your town. It's, too close for missiles. We're switching to guns and do
Yeah, I
some
still haven't
flips
done
and
that one.
twists.
That's just a Landon thing. I like it.
But that's what I think we both love is, yes, we love cleaning, but we also love like the marketing. We love the videos. We love the photography, the before and afters. What
The
can we
best
say on this
the
video that, might touch one person,
the best part about it is authenticity. We get to be
Yeah.
ourselves. Like
Yes.
the whole too close for missiles switching that's just Landon. If you know Landon, that's just Landon's personality, dude. He's just funny. And you get
Gotta
to be
have fun.
yourself. What?
Gotta have fun.
Yes, it is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot, dude. It's all in or nothing. You can't have one foot in and one foot out. You either got to do it or you don't. And I think a lot of people, work ethic is hard to find. And again, I was a commercial fisherman. You have a work ethic. I love your work ethic, but
I was a
I'm
commercial fisherman too. You got to
no, you
remember
weren't.
that.
No,
You
you
say
weren't.
I'm not, but I
You're
was.
not. You're not.
I was in Seward, Alaska, dude. Come on. And I took
yeah.
it's called commercial because you have to have a captain's license to make money, and it has to be so. Yeah, I guess I was a captain. You were a crew.
You were on the pointy end. You were on the pointy end of the boat. I was on the backside.
Yeah.
No, it's just
Uh,
it's just it's a mixture of things. I love what I do. I have fun doing it. I love making the content. I love making the videos. I love talking to people. And the job is satisfying. Watching stuff clean and change, and it is so satisfying. So like it's just a revolving door of satisfaction. And I get paid for it.
Yeah.
And it's I enjoy it. It's fun.
and you enjoy the tools. Like
Yeah.
just last month when you bought the new stuff, it's like you and we get all giddy off the new stuff. And it's like, okay, I do see this. I understand why I'm buying it too. I'm not just
Yep.
buying it because it's nice and big.
Well,
It's literally replacing what other companies will get a new employee
yeah.
and scale that way. We have invested our business into buying better equipment, so we don't need another employee. We can do everything more efficient, faster, spray higher, clean better, and you're one person. Like when they said, "Oh, the last guy did this job, it took 7 days," and then we crushed it out in literally like what was it, 6 hours? It's like we just work different than other people, and we're very, very efficient.
I do want the future employee. I do want to build a business.
Yeah.
And I actually have an action in play. I'm sure you saw Expert Power Wash built that little white truck, the right wheel
Yes.
drive. What? Yeah. So
Tiny.
Jordan, yeah, I actually have my hands on one for a price, and I think I'm going to wrap one. Smaller setup, smaller scale jobs for an employee is in the works.
Yeah.
So we'll just
and you
say
could
that.
even do like, window cleaning with that, like window cleaning, gutter cleaning, simple tasks with that thing. Cause you don't want to fill it up with a water tank or anything crazy, but that's for another time. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's the creativity. It's like what you can do with it. Like it's great to be our own boss. Like I was just talking to a friend of mine earlier today and he was talking about, scaling, exit plan, this and that. And yeah. But I just told him, my first 3-year plan is to work for Landon and be the best employee for Pearl exterior cleaning and put processes in place, put the right equipment in. I want to destroy the equipment and figure out what needs to be replaced or what we need to just do differently completely. And then hand that off to a new person where then, yes, we're scaling, but yeah, we can't take over the Pacific Northwest without, a few people.
Yes. I think into the fall and the winter is when I'm going to transition an employee.
Fall
That's
or the winter?
falling into the winter.
Oh, that was a good one.
You like that? But then I said I wasn't bidding in the winter, but I mean, I had a fantastic month in January, which blew my mind.
Yeah, it blew my mind. I was trying to come back from Africa because I was getting so
You
jealous.
told me when you went to Africa, make sure you put a fire in my boots when I got back. I think I put anxiety in your boots when you got back.
Yeah. Yeah. Before I got back, even
Yeah.
my dad had to tell me to chill out the last 3 days we were in Africa because I was like, I need to get home. Chris is doing something crazy and I'm not there.
Yeah. I think what keeps me going is it's fun and I'm building something and I am in a smaller town, you're in a larger town. I've built a trust in the community and it's like it just keeps coming, dude, and very gracious of that for sure. Um, but I take pride in what I do, you know.
Yeah.
I love leaving and seeing a client smile because they hired the right person. That means more to me than the paycheck. When somebody's happy with the job and they express that, that means everything.
Yeah. And I think you also, because we talked about how we can do it, even go globally with this situation, but helping the youth, you came from addiction, you understand kids with drug addictions and all that kind of stuff, and just giving them that inspiration from somebody that they can see is who they are
Yeah.
and got past it.
And dude, I've even said when I would hire somebody, I made a post a while ago. I was like, I don't care if you've done drugs, what your
Sorry.
past is, just to have somebody who wants it. Like I've unfortunately had people reach out and people who don't have cars and like, yeah, whenever you got time, just come to my mom's house and give me an interview. I'm like, dude, that's not drive. Not looking for that. I'm sorry. Like show up at my front door or show up at my shop
Yeah.
or find me or come talk to me or show me some drive. Yeah. Knock on my door. Like if you want something, come get it. That's my dad.
Yeah.
You know what the best thing my dad ever gave me was? I told somebody this the other day. The best thing my dad ever gave me, you know what it was?
I'm going to learn.
Nothing. If you want
Sick.
it, go get it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you want something, come get it. You see what I'm doing out here. You see what I'm building. And I want somebody to want it. I don't want to lead a horse to water. Come ask for it. Come take it.
Yeah. No, I
It's
100% agree.
you have to.
I've even had one person where I asked for some help, wanted to help them out coming back to town.
Yeah.
They were gung freaking ho about the business. And I think they were just nervous to start. They didn't understand how intense the job is. A lot of people say, oh, pressure washing's easy. I can do that. It's like, quote, yeah, with a 2.5 gallon per minute Home Depot pressure washer, cool. But once you start working like
scale.
Badge and Barz, once you start working like us, it's a different level. Like cleaning roofs, cleaning gutters, the siding, all the flat work, brickwork, all that stuff. How efficient we are and how long we'll work. We don't take breaks. I'll say it, we're both commercial fishermen. But it's like, you can't take a break when you're out on the Pacific, you're trying to catch halibut salmon. You're anchored in, to 300-400 feet and I don't know, it feels like a half a mile away from where you're anchored. Then you chum in the water, you're sitting there. It takes hours for the fish to come. It's like you're working, you're talking to the customers on the boat.
Yeah.
You're doing all the stuff. You're doing the same thing on these roofs and on these houses because they can see you. They're walking around their house. They're coming and going. The neighbors can see you.
I remember when we did that job in Astoria. We ended at 2:30. I went home. AM. I went home and took a nap for 45 minutes. You drove home. I went down to Newport, drove 3 hours, did a job down there, drove back home, worked again through the night. I was probably up 2.5 days.
Yeah.
Having fun. It was fun. And then I took a nap.
You're still different than me. I agree.
That's because I actually did commercial fish.
Oh, yeah. I just got paid to take a commercial boat out fishing. So we'll see. El Capitan Lando.
What else should we talk about? Competition. How about that? You know what?
There is no competition.
There is, but you know what? There really is enough work to go around.
And that's why I say there's no competition.
Yeah, there's enough work to go around. I just think people will do it different than others. And not every client is meant to be your client. I've talked to people on the phone. Yes. People haggle my price. And I will be open. I'm pretty fair. Like I've had people, I give them a price. They're like, seriously? I'm like, dude, I can do it. Yeah, that's fair. It's fair to me. I'm happy with it. And then I've had people give them a price and they want to slash it in half and say, I don't see the value in this. And then I say, I don't see you being my client. I don't know what to
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah,
This
and
is what it,
that's came through phone calls between me and you on a couple
yeah.
of them because
Hmm.
it's like learning, what we have and what we've reinvested. I've even had a guy tell me $1,400 is too much for one man to make in a day. And I asked him, so if I had 3 other employees here and 4 people were working, you'd be okay with paying that? And he's like, yeah, that would make sense. And so some people are just not going to be our clients.
That's fine.
And that's totally fine. That's for the other companies that will
Yep.
take jobs like that or have employees and they have 4 and the guy sees value in 4 people and says, I would rather have that. So
Well,
yeah,
with that being said, I had a job last week. No names, hired a company, franchise company. 3 employees showed up, younger kids, employees, did the job, burnt the house, didn't do the roof correctly.
burnt the
I
house
was
with
on
chemical. Let's
correct.
say
It
with
was a wood
chemical.
house, burnt the house. I was honestly appalled when I went there and I'm just like, dude, this is
Not
terrible.
good.
Yeah, and I genuinely felt bad for them. I'm like, dude, you guys shouldn't have to go through this. And I'll be honest, I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But there was a part of me who had to do it because I wanted to try and make them feel uh,
Good
okay
about
with
their
the whole.
house.
Yeah, it's like, dude, this is terrible. I said, I'm going to do my due diligence. I'll try and fix this, correct it. They left me a great review. They were great people, by the way.
Yeah.
The gentleman actually texted me last night and he said, I talked to my son who's in Japan and he said, everything happens for a reason. Maybe you met this guy on purpose and he builds model boats and lures. Dude's super cool. Again, everything happens for a reason. But I cleaned up the other company's mess. I cleaned up some of the parts of the roof and I did our wood process on it. It brought back some natural color, but it was definitely torched.
Stained or
Yeah,
white.
and it was very white. And I felt bad, but that's a company with 3 employees. And then of course I asked their price. They told me a little bit
Yep.
cheaper than me, but
That's the
that
outcome.
yeah, I'm not saying that always happens. I just think
Yeah.
maybe they didn't care and they did the job but that goes into it's me. You get me. I live here. I'm going to do what I say. And secondly, stuff happens. And I want to put this out there. Like there may be a house that I might miss something on, or I might overlook something. I'm human. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, call me and I will literally come back and I will fix it. Like I'll make sure that you're happy no matter what, just like you will. I mean, people
Yeah.
miss stuff. Maybe you left some dirt under your van that you were cleaning. Call me. Let me come fix it. Don't,
It's too close to home. Yeah.
I'm just saying we are human,
No.
we overlook
Yeah, and
things.
I'll say that too is, yeah, we being owner operators and invest in our equipment, when we do make a mistake, it is us that answers the phone. It's
Yeah.
us that shows back up. It's us that takes care of the problem and fixes it. So you brought that situation up, but there's another one where I did a full on complex. I think it was like an 18-door apartment complex. I blew off the roof, gutters, and then blew off all the ground. There was one back patio I fully missed after blowing all the debris onto their barbecue, their little tote, and their about 5-foot concrete walking pad, and just completely missed it. The property manager called me like at 8 at night and says, "Hey, the homeowner of this spot says you did a horrible job." I said, "I will fix it." I didn't tell him when. I turned around, drove right back up there. Leaf blew off, or took my leaf blower, blew off about a 10-foot area, barbecuer and little tote, and sent her pictures back. It's completed, done. Thanks for letting me know. And she's
Yeah.
like, I had no idea you were going back up there, and I wouldn't expect any business to even go back up there. You are ours for life. And it's just like those little things, being the homeowner, the business owner, is
Mhm.
why I love what we do as well.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, eventually I want to grow, but those are the mistakes that I want to make to then teach somebody, hey, look, after doing a roof, you do the gutters. After doing the gutters, you're going to look at all the windows. After the windows, you're going to look down the siding. Is there any overspray from water spraying up on the side of the house? If there's a neighbor's driveway that has a little debris in it, just go do the neighbor's driveway. Just do it. Who cares? Maybe we'll get a job. And then if you get a job, I'll give you % of sales job for closing. So yeah, I think I do love our business. I love, you noticed I can talk to just about anybody. I can talk for hours about stuff I love with whoever, or just getting to know somebody and then finding out what they need, what we have, and hopefully we can help and solve their problem. But again, I hope we get into those massive big projects that we've been talking
We
about
will.
with schools
We
and
will.
helping.
If it's meant to be, it will be.
Oh yeah,
Faith. You got faith?
gotta have faith.
You ever
Yeah.
heard the 50 Cent song? There's
A lot of
nothing you can do, nothing you can do to stop my shine. This is God's plan, homie. This ain't mine.
Solid.
The old man up there, he's had my back.
Oh yeah, yeah. The angels, our angels, are looking down at us, smiling,
Yeah.
enjoying what we're building.
I think my
So it's
dad
pretty
is still
awesome.
dumbfounded. Proud, but dumbfounded. How?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. No, he definitely watches over.
For sure. Yeah, I think we can end this podcast then with, you got to embrace the uncomfortable. What is that? I just screwed it up. Get comfortable with being
being
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable, yeah.
That's what it is. And that's where I think separates us is we've lived, we've worked, we've been grinding harder than most people. And we enjoy the uncomfortable, which
Mhm.
it's not uncomfortable to us, but people would be like, this is uncomfortable. Like I
The
was
un-
sharing earlier, I had a guy work for a few days with me and was like, you just work extra crazy. But I think why we also are pretty stinking good brothers is the fact of enjoying the uncomfortable and laughing and embracing it.
I don't know if it should happen like this, but I feel like I'm being more comfortable with being uncomfortable because that's where you learn. Like my dad always told me, if I could tell you how many jobs I took in business that I wasn't solely sure on and I taught myself, it would blow your mind. So it's like, and I'm not just taking on things that I have no idea what I'm doing. It's like, but there are things that you do need to learn, you got to teach yourself and learn and educate yourself. And yeah, it is uncomfortable. And it's, you got to step outside the box. And definitely a huge part in business is being uncomfortable and growing and learning.
In every aspect, smiling throughout it.
Yeah, and it's not every day. Like there's days where I do jobs I know how to do. Cool, we're comfortable. We got it. We're crushing it. I know how to do it. But it's like
Yes.
then we're taking on projects and we're like, dude, how are we gonna do this? It's huge.
There's aluminum, there's copper, there's
there's a lot of things that come into play.
Neon
And that's
lights.
where hiring somebody who knows what they're doing comes into play because you can literally screw up things really bad.
Oh, massive.
I've seen it.
Especially with the chemicals we use.
Yeah. We're like a
It's-
chemist. I'm a paid chemist.
Mad scientist.
Breaking Bad of the cleaning industry.
Wow. Yeah, that's intense.
Walter, is that what his name? Walter?
Yes, Walter.
Yeah, what was the
That
other
was
kid's
such a good
name?
show.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
I hate TV. I hate TV, but I started watching that instantly grabbed my attention. I binged on that TV show. It was great.
Yeah, just about the only TV I watch is motocross or supercross or highlights of motocross and supercross.
Yeah.
Other than that, TV in the house is basically black. So
you got a busy week?
Got a busy week coming up, 4 days straight. And happy about it. From Woodinville, Tacoma, doing one up in Bellingham.
I think I'm going to meet you Thursday. We'll go grab lunch.
Yeah, that one in Tacoma.
How long is your job going to take?
Probably 4 hours. So noon.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Nice. Yeah, we'll have to get lunch Thursday, and then I'm having some boys over for some golf over here in East Wenatchee.
Like golf on TV?
No, like
you're gonna go play golf.
A real course. Yeah.
Yeah,
out in the grass.
I need to pick that hobby up. I think I'm at the age, right?
It's just like it's more safe than dirt biking. So that's one reason why I do it. And then it's competition and it's shooting the shit with your homies. And
I went and played golf once on a field. The guy I went with was my tattoo artist, and there's houses everywhere. And I'm so nervous. I'm like, dude, he hit the first house. And I'm like, dude, we're good. It was pretty fun.
He hit the first house.
Yeah, he hit the first house.
Wow, that's a good start to the day.
Yeah, because I was nervous. I was like, this guy's probably good. I mean, he's good, but he hit a house. I was like, cool, this was fun.
I can do anything from here on out.
Yeah, we're good. All
Yeah.
right, man.
Well, good. I like that. Anything else you want to talk about on this?
Yeah, well, what I think we should
starting?
do is I think we should have somebody comment on what they would want to hear for next week for
Okay.
a topic.
Okay.
Give the listeners the idea of if you listen to this video all the way through, if people do that, what do you guys want to hear us talk about?
Yeah, give us a like, share, follow, subscribe on Spotify and YouTube. And yeah, like Chris just said, what do you guys want to know about in the next podcast?
Because me and Landon, we could sit here and talk for hours. We could just ramble. But give us a topic. We could sit here and come up with topics all day long. But what do you guys want to hear us talk about?
Yeah, I like it.
Let's go.
So put it in the comments, give us a call, text, DM, whatever you guys want. You got AWP, you got Pearl Exterior Cleaning, you got the badge, and
The Barz.
let's flow.
Go.
Sick.
You're listening to Badge and Barz. One served behind the badge, the other served behind bars. Two different paths, two different sides of the justice system, but one common goal.